Guys, this is One Piece King here today. So with this video, it's actually regarding over to, well, not, it's not gonna be a theory really. I mean, it could, like, it's sort of a theory, but it's more like, maybe more of like the possibilities of, like with this topic I'm gonna be discussing about really. It is gonna be, yeah, it is more gonna be about like, discussing about a certain character in the One Piece series and everything, more regarding to the fruits really and everything. And yes, I use the term fruits plural because there were actually two users of the certain fruit, so you know what I mean. But anywho, I guess I'll get started on it. So I was looking through Twitter the other day, and there was somebody that was basically asking about Bon Clay, the user of the clone fruit. Um, basically they were asking about like could he copy the strengths of the fighting styles of the characters that he turns into. Example, if he turned into Sanji, would he copy the kicking style that Sanji knows? And, of course I told him with Bond, that's a no, because even it was explained later on when we get to see Bon Clay again in Impel Down that only his fruit copies the appearances of the people. But, Bond doesn't really get the strength or, the fighting styles of like he doesn't get the strengths of the fighting styles of the people who he touches. So that means like, Luffy as of right now with how strong he is, Bond can copy that, but Bond can't copy that strength and everything. He can't copy Luffy's elephant gun or he can't copy Gear Fourth. He can't copy none of that. Bond can't copy none of that at all and everything. He can't use any. It's also like you can't use devil fruit powers as well. Like, you don't get that kind of side of the fruit because one, that would seem too overpowered and everything. Like, it's sort of like a copy fruit sort of. But no, it's not a copy fruit because I don't know if there's a legit copy fruit user out there in the series yet. But if there ever was, then yeah, they most likely would be like one of those people that could copy the powers and everything, but I don't think they'd copy the strength. It's more like copying the powers of somebody. Maybe they could copy the strength too, I don't know, but it really depends if there is going to be a user out there like that, but I don't know. But well, it wasn't only just explained in Impel Down, but it was explained a bit in Alabasta as well when Sanji and Bon Clay were fighting. Sanji even noticed that when Bond turns into Nami, that, Bond can't really attack. Like, he can't go and use any of his attacks at all because, Bond has only perfected the, Okama Kenpo and everything. Like, he's practiced the Okama Kenpo, but that was in his, like, original form, in his original state without the use of the powers. So yeah, he's practiced it in that and everything, but, he's never practiced the techniques in, like other forms and everything with this fruit. He's never done it. So that right there already just explains like, yeah, Bond cannot go and do, anything else that other people that he's touched, can do. He can't go and copy their moves, he can't go and copy anything else. Because again, this is called the clone fruit, it's not really the copy fruit, like there's a huge difference. Um, but like of course when he asked the question and everything, it made me think of the previous user of it made me think of the previous user who was basically this witch that was in it basically like we're referring to her as witch even though we got her name in Wano. Um she was actually the previous user of the clone fruit, and honestly, the question raises though, with the original user, which is the witch, did the same thing affect her? Like could she not copy the fighting styles of anybody else or anything? Because like I know again this isn't the copy fruit and everything, but in a sense though, the clone fruit is almost like a copy fruit sort of. Like you don't get their strength or like you don't get their strength or their powers, you just get their appearances and everything. But who's to really say you can't really copy their fighting styles as well? Like, you can't, make a clone of the fighting styles, when you're the same person as them. That's like, um, basically, that's like saying that if Bond really did train with this fruit to the point where he could copy, like, fighting styles of other people he's touched and everything, example would kind of be like with Zoro and everything. Zoro is really skilled with a sword and everything, and we've seen other skilled swordsmen out there in the series as well. But who's to really say though that, if Bond, maybe copied that a bit and everything, like basically, making a copy of like Zoro's 100 caliber Phoenix, which I know people are gonna tell me like, no, it's a like 100 pound, like it's basically a 108 pound cannon. I call it caliber Phoenix because English dub and everything. I could go for either one, just letting y'all know, but I call it caliber Phoenix, so don't come at me. But yeah, but what if he could, copy that though? Like he could just pick up like three swords and everything, like, pose as Zoro, but he uses three swords and he does the 108 caliber Phoenix. If he could master that and everything, like I know it would take some time, but if he could master it though, basically Bond would be a copy of Zoro in a huge sense. Like Bond would be a copy of Zoro, and like it could kind of trail on and everything. I'm not saying that he could copy every single one, because of course some of them have devil fruit powers and some of them are not. Some of them are not really human, So if he tried to copy Frankie, who he hasn't really met yet, he hasn't really met Frankie or Brooke. He knows Robin, but Frankie and Brooke are new members, so Bond doesn't really know who those two are. But if Bond really had to go and copy Frankie, it's more of just his appearance. Like he couldn't copy Frankie's moves because Bond, if he goes and changes into Frankie, Bond isn't gonna be like an automatic cyborg though. He's not. It's gonna be like, he's still human. So it's more like if he goes and tries to try and do one of Frankie's moves, like the weapons left, he wouldn't be able to do it because, Bond's hand cannot detach itself. It cannot like, open up and he could just open fire with weapons left. Like he can't do it, you know. So yeah, with like maybe there's a limit probably, like, if it's human kind of characters, ones that don't possess any devil fruit powers, ones that could possess just weapons and everything. Um yeah, ones that could just possess weapons and stuff. Um Something like that really and everything, then I think Bond could easily just do it. But if it's, devil fruit users, or if it's if it's devil fruit users, which that's kind of the big one right there and everything, or if it's if it's devil fruit users, or if it's basically like it's kind of like really putting a limit and everything. Devil fruit users are one, because you can't copy the powers and stuff. It's only, just the appearances. Um, so it's devil fruit users, but I guess it's also like how strong they really are too. Big, because yeah, as stated, Bond can, copy their appearance, but he doesn't get to have their strengths or anything else. So yeah, like this goes back with Luffy where he could he could copy his appearance, but Luffy's really strong now. And if Bond is kind of below him, which we believe he is right now, um yeah, Bond is, he could copy Luffy's appearance and pose as Luffy, but Bond can't really, just go like, oh, well, I'm just gonna throw a really strong, powerful punch and everything. Yeah, no, it'd be like a little thimble to Luffy. It'd be like, did you just try and punch me? It's like, uh, um, but yeah, though, it really, it really does raise, like I said, it really does raise the question with the witch if she could, copy fighting styles and everything. Because Bond, as we know, can't do it because he already has his own fighting style, the Okama Kempo. But the witch never really had a fighting style that we've seen. She never really had one. It was more like she just had the fruit to really trick people and everything, just like how she went and turned into Odin in the flashback and basically posed as him throughout Wano when Odin left the country. and basically helped Orochi like rise to power and everything because of the fact that you know Odin went and trusted Orochi like a brother, and basically got him to rise to power. And it, like, yeah, it seemed more like that's really what the fruit can do, though, is really just trick people. It's like more of a tricky fruit and everything, and I can understand that. Um, yeah. But the thing of it is, though, the thing of it is, though, is that when it comes to fighting styles, though, let's say if I had the fruit, though, let's say if I went and had, the clone fruit and everything, um, it's just the fact that basically if I was to go and like, touch somebody and everything, like just on their face, because that's what you're supposed to do. Um, when you like if I was to go and turn into like my friend Levi and everything, my friend Levi is kind of a bit of a strong guy himself, but I'm like in terms of our strengths and everything, I'm not really as strong as him. He's currently even he's currently with the military and everything. I believe he went and joined the Marines probably. I know like it's kind of ironic to say that because we're talking about One Piece and there is Marines in One Piece and everything. Like I think he joined the Navy or the Marines around there. Um, Last time I spoke with him, he was in Japan surprisingly. So I don't know if he's staying safe or not. I don't know. Um, but if I was to go and copy him though, like if I was to go and copy his appearance, that's all I could really do and everything because in terms of like actual, fighting strength or power, um yeah, I wouldn't be able to have all that and everything because I'm not completely copying him and stuff. It's more like his appearance I am, like appearance wise I am, and basically it can make it seem like, yeah, there's, two of my friend Levi. It's like there's two of him. But I won't be able to really copy his strength though. So that means like, if we were at a gym and and he goes and tests his punch on a punching bag and it's like a really strong punch and everything and it kind of knocks the punching bag like off of the handle there. But if I was still posing as him, I went to do the same punch, but kind of like and then like it just does like a little move, like a little like phew, then yeah, it like basically people would probably tell the difference by then like, oh, he's the weaker one and everything. That means he's the fake. It's like uh, change back. It's like, yeah, it's me. But but yeah, though basically, but basically though that's basically how the fruit would work though. I mean, it's still sort of like a copy fruit in the way though, but it's not a complete like yeah, it's not like a complete version of the copy fruit though. If there was a copy fruit out there, I think that probably would be the upgraded variant of the clone fruit. And I don't think we've seen the upgraded variant of the clone fruit before. I don't think we have. If we have, drop a comment down below. But if we haven't, I would say that if there was a copy fruit user out there, most definitely, yeah, that should definitely be the upgraded variant of the clone fruit because yeah, it definitely should because of the fact that, you could basically just turn into, or not really just turn into anybody, because that's what the clone fruit can do. The copy fruit is more of like the complete opposite, really. It's more like maybe you do get that as a tiny little feature. You do get to copy as people as well. But only real difference is though is that you actually get to copy, their moves and everything. It's either like a sightseeing thing, like a foresight, well, not really much of a foresight, but more like you're observing, and it's like the minute that you have it like observed and everything, like you're like say if you're at a distance and you see like say like that you saw Whitebeard, you saw like Whitebeard how he fights and everything with the tremor fruit and stuff. You won't be able to use the powers, so to say, or maybe you would. I don't know if giving the powers would also be like a big plus. Um, but most definitely you would be able to like observe the fighting style. You would only just need to observe it once, and you already know how to do it because the copy fruit would be more like it gives you an observing ability where it's like you only have to watch, the like them fighting once and everything, like watch their fighting moves once. and it's like, oh, I know how to do it and everything, and I know exactly how to perfect it, you know. So that means that if you went to go and challenge Whitebeard and everything, you grab yourself like a Bicenta weapon, the same as his, um, yeah, or maybe something like relatively the same to it and everything. I don't know if it has to be like exactly the same. That probably might be a limit to it. Where if you're going to observe and if someone is using a weapon, I don't know if you would have to exactly use it the same way as them, or if you could use it like you can use a different weapon but do the same trick. I don't know. I don't know. Like that probably might be a limit somewhere because of course fruits do have to have limits and everything. Um, but yeah, but you go and grab your Bicento and everything. You challenge Whitebeard to a fight. And of course Whitebeard goes and shows off the new move he's been perfecting and everything. Like he's been probably training and stuff, and you've been observing him from a distance. And it's more like he shows off the move he's been perfecting and everything. But funny thing is though is that you do the same move he does, and then you clash. Basically, you clash the same move at the same time in which he probably would be confused like I just like this was new and everything. This was like a new move for me. I've never seen anyone use this except me. It's like, how do you know it? It's like, well, you might be surprised. It's like, you must be a user. It's like, yeah, it's like I'm a copy fruit user. You're on point, old man. It's like, oh no. It's like this guy can copy my moves. And it's like, yeah. But but yeah, in a huge sense though, you would be able to copy their fighting styles and everything by observing. Powers though, I mean, like maybe that one's a limit too. I would not want to say that basically with the powers that you can copy like more than one at a time. I would like to say that with it, it kind of goes back to this one character from My Hero Academia. I don't like this guy, by the way. I don't like him. This guy likes to run his mouth and everything and basically act like he's better and stuff because he's one of the kids from class 1B in the school. His quirk is basically, like a copy fruit in a sense and everything. Except it's I think his quirk is just called copy, or maybe it's called copy. I don't know. I think I'll just call it copy because my hero doesn't follow with One Piece. They're not gonna say like, oh yeah, he has the quirk called copy. It's like, no. It's like maybe his quirk is just called copy or something relatively to a copying power. Um, but basically, what this guy does and everything is that the instant that he touches you, yeah, the instant that he touches you and everything, he immediately already gets your powers already and everything. But the limit with him is it only works like, one person at a time and everything. So that means that if he was to go and touch Bakugo, which he's done before, he can copy Bakugo's explosions, and I think there's a time limit with him. If I remember correctly, there was a time limit, or maybe it was just like he could use Bakugo's power for like a certain amount of time. But then, of course, if he was to go and touch another person, though, Bakugo's quirk power within him would disappear, and he would he'd be able to get the next one. Um, but yeah, though with him there were limits and everything. He basically was able to use other people's quirks, their powers. But like I said, the limit was basically one person at a time. So again, going back to the example with Bakugo, he goes and touches Bakugo, he can use his powers, but the instant he touches someone else, it's like, yeah, the explosions he can use disappears, but then he gets to use the next power of, whoever else he touches, and he gets to use it. So, yeah. I don't know if it would work the same limit way with the copy fruit user, if it's basically like, yeah, I can go and touch one person, example with Whitebeard. Now I have the Quake powers and everything. I can use the Quake powers whenever I so wish. But, the instant he touches someone else and everything, it's more like basically he gets another power though. Actually, to be like this would make a really funny example though. Using someone like Whitebeard. Whitebeard has a really destructive paramecia fruit and everything. He can basically it is, it's rumored and everything, but I guess you could say it's an actual fact. It's been stated by Sengoku himself that Whitebeard's fruit has the power to destroy the world, the entire planet they stand on. So, yeah, with someone having that kind of power and everything, just anybody, if they didn't use it wisely, yeah, that would be very bad and everything. I mean, example would basically be Blackbeard because, Blackbeard is using the fruit and everything, like he's using Whitebeard's fruit to its good potential and everything to his. Um, but the thing with Blackbeard though is that yeah, the thing with Blackbeard though is yeah, the thing with Blackbeard is basically though is that he's more of like using, two at a time though because he can do that. But if anything though, Blackbeard anywhere he goes and everything, if he wants to go and destroy a place and everything, yeah, just instantly like just tremor strike and everything and the whole island's just decimated. Um the copy fruit user though, it's more like yeah, they can go and copy Whitebeard's power by touching him and everything and they could do the same thing. But then you bring someone over like that's like a really I know I'm probably gonna get like lulls in the comment section about this example. But say if they bring in freaking Kelly Funk, the jacket fruit user. Say they randomly just bring in that guy. Randomly just bring him in and everything. Like he somehow just gets involved with this fight and everything. Like, how did I get here? It's like, huh. It's like I can also sense, you're a power user as well and everything. Um, I mean, not to give the copy fruit too much, but I think it would also give more of a sensing ability that, with the copy fruit user, since the fact that they're able to, just copy anybody they touch, I think, giving them a little bit of a hidden ability that maybe they could unlock later on is the fact that they could sense other users as well. Um, Possibly like Blackbeard, I would say. Possibly like Blackbeard because, because I think with the Dark Fruit, I think it does give that kind of hidden ability that Blackbeard knows who Devil Fruit users are. Like, basically, if he was surrounded by them and everything, say the Warlords, for example, except, like, all the Warlords except for Mihawk because, Mihawk doesn't possess one. But, Blackbeard was surrounded by the others and everything, like the other Warlords and stuff. I imagine with this dark fruit, he was able to detect, many, devil fruit, like senses and everything, many devil fruit signatures, like all around him and everything, because, Boa was on, one side, Moria and Kuma were on the other side, and Doflamingo was there as well. And it's like, huh, I see. It's like, some of you, I can feel like you guys have really strong powers and stuff, like that, the pink feathered fellow over there, he's really got a strong one. I don't want to mess with that guy and everything, but maybe we could team up, Like Blackbeard's just looking at Dofi like maybe we could team up. That guy's really strong over there. Ooh, and Mr. Paw guy over here, Mr. Big Guy with the Bible there and everything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that guy's really strong there too. It's like, I see, I see. I mean, of course he looked at Moria and it's like this guy's got a really cool, strong power. Maybe he could join me and stuff. I don't know, but like basically Blackbeard, like I'm saying though, Blackbeard probably has a hidden ability with the Dark Fruit that it's like he's able to sense other users around him. The Copy Fruit user might have the same ability where it's like it's hidden, but it's like they have to unlock it, and whenever they do, it's more like, again, it's more like observing, sort of. I think that comes with the observing. Let me actually add that on there and everything with the Copy Fruit user. With observing, you can also observe the fighting styles, but as an added more to it and everything, you can also, kind of observe or sense with your eyes the other users around you. So that means that if this user was to get into a crowd, either in Logtown or in Dressrosa when, all the fighting was going on, or in Whole Cake Island, like I'm trying to think of areas with big groups and everything, like large crowds. Even Wano had some crowding moments too. But, okay, maybe throw in Wano basically with this copy user. They're in Wano, like, with the crowd and everything. Yasuye is, like, like Yasu basically is, going through a bad time. Like we all know what happens to him. Um, but of course, Zoro and Hiyori and the rest of the people of Ebisu Town, come in and everything. The copy fruit user would sense the smile users, like, they would sense them and everything, but it's more like they would know, like, it's like they're sort of devil fruit users. However, though, they, like, probably sensing the aura on the users too, like, basically, the smile users and everything, the ones that have the bad effects and everything, it's more like, that these look incomplete and everything. This is bad. It's like, like this is terrible, this is bad and everything. Like these smile fruit users and everything, it was like these people really, have like bad aura signatures and everything with their, with their fruits or whatever. Like I'm sensing there's something really bad with them. And, like yeah, they basically, is just like they able to sense that. So yeah. So basically though, basically though, that means like if they go and walk around anywhere else in Wano and they see like maybe the gifters or maybe even the Toby Ropo, the Toby Ropo, or just like any of the Kaido crew members of the Beast Pirates and everything. Or maybe even the Straw Hats, because even the Straw Hats will walk around with the rebellion as well and everything. This user would be able to sense them all and be like, it's like, let's see which ones have really powerful auras and everything, because I think even they would be able to detect how strong their fruits really are and everything. So that means like if they go and look from Luffy's probably would be really big and everything. Luffy's, like devil fruit aura would actually be really growing. It's like, it's like this kid with this gum fruit. It's like, I see. It's, I'm so sorry that it's storming right now and everything. It just started storming outside. If you can hear that, I'm sorry. Um, yeah, this user would be able to detect but this user would be able to detect the aura of Luffy with this devil fruit and basically be like, it's like this one right here, this kid, he's really strong and everything. Maybe give him a bit more time and maybe he might be able to awaken it to a true full potential of power. It's like that one I have to watch out for. I do not want to mess with him. And then it's more like, he goes and looks at, Robin and Chopper and Brooke. Like he goes to look at them and everything. He, would be looking at them and be like, it's like these ones are very decent and everything. Some of them are very even close to that kid. It's like, very interesting with these ones. But even going by the Beast Pirates and everything, like Jack, King, and Queen, or even the Toby Ropo, or even Kaido himself, it's basically just like sensing all the users and stuff, and it's like, if if this person really feels like a very powerful aura off of them, it's more like, it's like, I think there's a problem. I think there's a problem. There's no way anybody could beat that. The aura is so strong that, it seems like their strength compared with that is really strong with this power. So, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Like I'm gonna get out of this area and everything. I'm not looking for a fight and everything, and they would move along, you know. I mean, unless if they were like a person that would be really smart about that and everything, but unless if they're like an overconfident person because they could read the auras of users, it's like they could use that, like they could use that, to their advantage and everything. But funniest thing is though is that even if you get to copy the powers, I guess this goes into a much deeper territory where it's like, the auras. That means that if you were to go and copy the power, sure you would be able to use it, but that doesn't actually give you the same aura growth as what they have. You're not completely copying everything because that would be too broken. But, with the limit though, like I said, one user touch at a time, basically throwing in the reference of My Hero Academia. Um, but also the other limit is that, even though that you get to read, like basically if you get to go and read the other, auras of the other users and everything, um, I guess you could also say it's more like a focus and everything. It's more like a focus and everything. Like you have to be really focused to do that and stuff. So that means like if this user wasn't even fighting and everything, like they're focused and everything, they would be able to use this ability and see all the users around them and sense the auras and everything, whether if they're corrupted or if they're really strong auras or even decent, or even if their devil fruit auras are even small, meaning like they're not really that powerful and stuff. With the copy user, they'd have to focus in order to see these and everything. But if they were not focused, like if they were in a fight and everything, and if they were trying to read the auras and stuff, but they weren't, focused, that would be a really big problem, though. That'd be a really big problem. It's almost like whenever, with hockey sensing, Katakuri, with this observation, it only works whenever he's focused. And that makes sense. Hockey in general, is using your senses to its highest peak. That means, with Katakuri, it seems like, the important one he likes using the most is observation. He might even be a master at it at the end of the series, probably. I don't know. Um, but the thing of it is, though, is that Katakuri, though, um, like with him, he has to be really focused and everything. Because if he's not focused, he won't be able to use it, and he'll get beaten up pretty easily and stuff. The same would go for the copy fruit user if they were to go and kind of look at the devil fruit auras of their opponents that they fight and everything. In which they would get beaten up pretty bad and everything. But now I bet probably some of you are gonna be asking this question like, okay, so devil fruits aside, would they be able to kind of do the same thing with the regular people too, like seeing how strong they are? Um, I mean, I guess, I guess and everything. I would say I guess. I don't want to give this, like I said, I don't want to give this user too much credit. I don't. Because if I made it to where like, I just randomly make this user and everything, like just this fruit and well, I'm not gonna say like user and everything, but if there were ever was a user, I think that would, particularly take the fruit. Um, I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. I'll have to think about who would really take the copy fruit. Like who would really take it. Um, because I mean, like we've seen some users that probably can't copy appearances and everything. Because now it just hit me that Brule, her mirror fruit abilities and everything, sort of do the copy appearances of people, but that's by mirrors really. But it still kind of counts though. Um, but as a powers wise and everything, Brule, yeah, power wise and everything, I think Brule can copy that sort of because it seems like whenever Luffy was fighting a clone of himself and everything, Luffy was throwing every single punch he could at his clone self, like his mirror reflection. And it seemed like the attacks were exactly the same and everything. So I don't know if that meant like I don't know if that means like if Luffy was to use Gear Fourth, if the mirror reflection of himself would use it too, and if they did, then it almost seems like it's sort of like a copy fruit, but it's like a lower variant of it. It's an upper variant of the clone fruit, but it's a lower variant of the copy fruit because it's a mirror reflection. It's not an actual person, so it has like a bit of like downfalls with Brulee's fruit, but with the copy fruit though, it's like legit like an actual other person that you're fighting that can use the same powers and moves that you do. Um, but with but with like actual regular people that don't even have no devil fruit powers at all and everything, like they're not power users. If they would be able to, I would say maybe because of the fact that say with Zoro, Zoro's aura would probably be, very high as well. Like Zoro's really strong, and Sanji's would be really strong as well. Usopp's and Jinbei's would be really strong and stuff. Frankie, I don't even know if would have an aura, considering the fact he's, not really human. He's mostly like mechanical and stuff, like cyborg and all. Um, but basically though, if they had to read the auras off of like, the others that don't even have any powers at all and everything. It's more like, they just have natural skills and weapons. Um, they like basically, yeah, they would be able to read that too and everything. I don't know if they'll be able to read the auras of citizens as well. Um, I guess now thinking about that, that goes back to Fujitora on how, Fujitora blinded himself. But the thing with Fuji though is I don't know if I think it is an observation hockey thing. So maybe hockey does play into this sort of where it's like, reading the regular auras off of people and stuff, but devil fruit auras I would say are very different and everything. You can't really read devil fruit auras at all. Cause from what we see of Fujitora though, it's like, Fuji can read the auras of people and everything, like their emotions and stuff. But Fuji, I don't think can actually read Devil Fruit auras. Meaning like when he was fighting with Sabo, I don't think he can read like a very strong aura and everything, like a very strong flame with with Sabo, because Sabo has the flame fruit. I don't think Fuji was able to read that. It was more like, it's like just the aura shape of what Sabo looks like. He knows who he is, so it's like, oh, it's like a revolutionary. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, I guess I'm fighting you now and everything, Like, I'm very happy to fight you, because I've heard a lot about you. You're the number two of the revolutionaries. It's like, indeed I am. It's like, great. It's like, now we gotta really fight. Um, but yeah, though, but with the copy fruit user, yeah, with the copy fruit user, they would be able to read devil fruit auras and stuff. So that means like they'll even get to know what the other fruits are. But the aura coming off of them, would either be like, really strong. I don't know if there would be colors with it and everything. Um, yeah, like I don't know if there would be colors with it or something, but it'd be like a really strong, aura and everything. If they're a really strong user with it, um, that actually means that if this user met Katakuri, the mochi fruit, yeah, most definitely they would have been like, you're not just strong, you're awakened. I have, like, it appears that you've awakened your fruit. Like they would know that beforehand, just by reading Katakuri. It's like, so it's like, uh-huh. It's like, yeah, and I feel like, you're seeing through me. It's like, perhaps I am. Problem. It's like, we'll see about that, and then the fight goes on and everything. Dofi even the same way because of the fact that Dofi is an awakened user as well. The same thing would happen right there where it's like, yeah, they would see Dofi and everything, like they would get into a fight with Doflamingo. They would read the aura off of him and notice he's already awakened his fruit already, and it's like, oh no. It's like, one of the warlords has already awakened his he already like awakened his fruit already. It's like, this is not good for me. It's like, no, no, it is not. You made a big terrible mistake. It's like, yes, I did. And then yeah, fight goes on. Um, but yeah though. But I think I don't know if every Devil Fruit user has this though. I think it only works with Blackbeard. Because like I said, Blackbeard seems like, with this dark fruit, it's already like he knows, like, who's a user and who's not a user. Um, but yeah, but the thing of it is though, with the copy user, it's more like they don't know until they sense you and everything. Like they can really sense it and stuff. Like their senses would be so high, especially with Devil Fruit users and stuff, and it'd be like, yeah, like they would be in a crowd, like I said, and they'd be looking around to see if there's any users. If they just like if they sent like really tiny auras and stuff, like people that don't, like basically the citizens that really are just living their lives and they're not really trying to fight or anything. Like their auras would kind of be like not very small, but it'd be like kind of like this size right here and everything, like this much of an aura that they would read off of them and stuff and be like, these people, yeah, like I'm reading very small auras and everything in this crowd, so I'm not really, like I'm not really sensing any, like, yeah, they would start turning and they would just see one, they would just like feel it, like they would feel it, but they would see where it's coming from and be like, oh, it's like, who is that guy in the crowd? In the front, who is that guy? Most likely it would be Luffy or anything, but yeah, like basically just would be able to do that and stuff. But I mean, like seeing a copy fruit concept of basically what those type of abilities right there would be very interesting. Because of the fact that, because of the fact that a copy fruit seems like, yeah, it would have the abilities to basically sort of carry over from what the other users have and everything, like, bonds, not really. Brulees, maybe a little bit, except there's a little bit of a difference with it, is that it's not a mirror reflection, it's an actual person. Um, Now, I don't think this would trail over with Blackbeard because Blackbeard can't technically copy the moves of the users. Like, Blackbeard can't use fire if he touches Ace and stuff, because with their fight and everything, Blackbeard was able to absorb the fire off of him if he was to get hit, but Blackbeard cannot use, like he can't turn his darkness into fire and use it against Ace. Because one, I think there would be more fuel to the fire for Ace, no pun intended. Um, but yeah, like that would be more fuel to the fire. But two, it's like, why would you do that whenever Ace is already like that already? Like he's already a fire user. Don't you think it would have been smart to actually try to absorb a bit of the water and try shooting it, like try, shooting the water at him like a cannon? Um, but no, like Blackbeard can't go and use like attacks against people and everything. He can't really go and just like Sengoku. Like another example would be Sengoku with the shockwaves, the Zen shockwaves that he does and everything, or I guess just shockwaves. But yeah, like Blackbeard got hit by one of those and everything. Blackbeard tried absorbing one of those, but it wasn't working. But if Blackbeard was to use the Dark Vortex that would go and, basically just cancel it out like he did with Whitebeard's power during their fight, um, yeah, Blackbeard could not use, the Shockwave against Sengoku and everything, But granted, he already had Whitebeard's fruit and everything, and it was the instant that Sengoku tried, using the Shockwave and stuff. Blackbeard already was using Whitebeard's power to kind of counteract that and everything to stop it. Um, but like basically, yeah, Blackbeard cannot go and use the shockwaves and everything by absorbing that power and stuff, like by absorbing the shockwave. Like he can't do that and stuff. He can't. Um, and also Luffy's Gear Second and everything. Blackbeard could not use, like basically Blackbeard could not go and absorb Gear Second and use it against Luffy. Like he couldn't go Gear Second himself, like basically covering himself in like a black steam. Because I mean, it would still be darkness, but it would be like, a black steam sort of, and it would be like, Blackbeard gets really fast himself and basically just, beats up Luffy. But no, it's more like it's a cancel. Like with Blackbeard, it's a cancel of Devil Fruit users and everything, like their powers and stuff. So yeah, that means with Blackbeard, that means with Sengoku, with Luffy, with Ace, any fight that we've seen Blackbeard being a part of and everything. If Blackbeard was to fight Eneru, Blackbeard would have won that fight. Blackbeard would have won that fight and everything. Like Eneru, I'm not saying he's weak. It's the fact that Blackbeard would be like he can tank those hits, because of course Blackbeard's a bit of an unusual person. But Blackbeard would be able to probably just do Dark Vortex at El Thor and just absorb it all, and then probably use like Black Hole to go and absorb Enru, or even use Dark Vortex to suck Enru in, and just kind of punch him down to the ground and stuff. Like Enru would probably just show the same shocked expression that basically at Luffy, because like none of his electric attacks could affect Luffy, but he would feel the same with Blackbeard because he'd be like, wait a second, you're the same type as me. Why is it that nothing I do can hurt you? It's like, because I'm not just a Logia user. I'm a legendary Logia user. I'm like one of the strongest types. It's like his eyes would be popping out, his jaw would be really dropped, and everything would be like, again, it would be like, I may have messed up. It's like, yeah, you did. It's like, here, I'll give you a choice. Join me. We could work together and stuff, but you work under me. Or two, Yeah, or two, if you don't, I'm just gonna beat you up, take your fruit, and give it to one of my crew. It's like, um, like Enru would basically, probably just be like, I'm gonna see where this goes, like he's gotta have a weakness somewhere. And of course he'd keep trying and stuff. I think Blackbeard would probably just end up beating him up at the end. Like Blackbeard just wins against Enru. But like I said though, it wouldn't be like Blackbeard easily gets the win. It would be a very difficult fight between the two and stuff, like Blackbeard without the Tremor Fruit. But if it was Blackbeard with the Tremor Fruit though, Blackbeard gonna win. Blackbeard is gonna win against Enru with the Tremor Fruit. If it was without, it'd be very difficult and everything. It'd be very difficult for Blackbeard to kind of really get Enru because Enru, even though he has like long range distant attacks and stuff, but Enru is more like he plays it smart and everything with this fruit and everything. For being a Logia user, he plays it smart because I think Enru will know once he gets close to Blackbeard, it's game over. He will, like Enru's gonna lose. But maybe by attacking from a distance, even though that it will barely work, it's like Enru's gotta keep trying in order to know like he's gotta see a weakness somewhere. But like if nothing really works and everything in that fight right there, yeah, Blackbeard easily gonna win even without the Tremor Fruit. But no, I think Enru actually might have a chance without the Tremor Fruit, Blackbeard and stuff. Like, you know. But with it though, Enru is gonna go down and everything because the darkness, yeah, the darkness that can absorb the his electrical form and stuff, like basically making it to where Enru could be touched. Also with the Tremor Fruit and everything, basically that could really do some damage on Enru. Yeah, Enru is not gonna come out of that. It's gonna be like, uh-oh, boom, like boom and crack. It's like, oh, it's like that hurts. It's like, yeah, I bet it does. Thanks to this Tremor Fruit right here and everything. It's a Paramecia type. It's like, oh no. Like Andrew was just gonna be like, "Oh no, he's got two." It's like, "Yes, I do," and there's nothing you can do about it. But yeah. But with the copy fruit user though, just one, just one power though. Maybe if they trained with it, maybe awakened it, maybe they might possibly be able to use more than one power. Um, like I know that's a bit giving it too much, really, and everything, but once you think about it though, yeah, once you think about it though, the copy fruit user would basically be like, um, like they'd be able to touch anybody and everything and just gain a power. But like I said, limit without the training really, like just the first start of it would only be one. Of course, observing fighting moves as well and everything. Um, but if you were to really train with it and get to the point of awakening, yeah, you might be able to possibly like do a lot more with it and everything, like possibly even like just absorb more than one power maybe, and you're able to use like two, and of course people would already start thinking like, wait, so that means you already have like a second devil fruit or something? It's like, no, 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 no. It's like, you see, I have one, but it feels like I can use more than one at a time now. It's like, shoot, this guy's like a Blackbeard. It's like, basically. But the funniest thing is, though, I don't have two devil fruits in me. I have just one. It's like, oh no. And it's all like, yep, boom. And then just there you go and everything. But that'd be really crazy for a copy fruit user. That'd be really crazy right there and everything. Um, but like, yeah, who's to really say if we would get one though? Because again, that'd be a bit too overpowered if we got one. A clone fruit user and everything that we already have. Um, I mean, I would want y'all to comment down below though. If Bond didn't have it, do you think that Bond would have been able to copy, like, yeah, if Bond didn't have it, do you think anyone with the clone fruit, like, that would have gotten it later after the witch had, had her passing? Um, do you think like anyone would be able to like copy the moves of anybody if they really tried? You know, not by any powers like any devil fruit powers or anything, but more like just by fighting styles and everything. Like say Luffy's and stuff. Like Luffy's regular punches, the way how he fights. Do you think that, if someone had the copy fruit and really just, like they turned into Luffy and they tried to go and, see if they could copy his fighting, his fighting stance and, maybe some of his, like, fighting techniques or something, do you think, yeah, like, do you think basically that, they could do that? Or do you think, like, basically it doesn't work that way? Like, that's a downgrade to, like, not a downgrade, but that's more of, like, the downside of the fruit where it's like, you can turn into other people, but you can't copy their moves or, their strengths or anything huge, like their powers. You can't really copy any of that and everything, like, at all. Only copy the appearance, but you cannot copy anything else of the person. Um, because if that was the case, I would have been really upset about that. I would have been like, well, then there's no actual point in actually explaining, if maybe they could or couldn't, but hey, here I am making the video actually just discussing like if it's a possibility that Bon if he didn't really train in the Okama Kempo, if he could have actually trained from other fighting styles from other people he's met, with using like swords or just regular, just like a regular fighting style with like fists in his feet. Um, like yeah, we could have like basically we could have probably seen that, but I don't really know. Um, but anywho, though, I guess this will be the end of the video right here. I know I probably went on a bit of a long tangent. Well, not really a long tangent. It was more like maybe discussing a concept of a copy fruit user. Which actually would be cool though and stuff. I hope we get to see one in the series and everything. And it's more like if Luffy and the crew ever meet this user. Yeah, most definitely though. Luffy probably would have been like, "Wait, you remind me of somebody," and he thinks of Bon. But of course Nami would be like, "No, Luffy, hold on, wait a minute. It's not like that," and everything. Like, remember that Bon went and copied our appearances. Remember, this one can copy like your moves and your powers, and it's like, wait a second. It's like, oh yeah, and he thinks of Brule and everything. It'd be like, yeah, it was Branch. And it's like, I think her name was Brule. It's all like, whatever. It was that lady. It was the mirror lady. It's like, yeah, Luffy, that's exactly right. It was her. Like she was able to she was able to make a copy of you. It's like, yeah, and fighting that other me was weird. Like I couldn't even hit him. It's like, yeah, because it was like a mirror reflection. But Luffy, it was a mirror fruit. It's like, oh. And then Luffy would be like, wait, does that mean Brule came back again? Is this Brule right here? It's like, no, Luffy, no, that's not Brule. That's a different person. In fact, we don't even know who this is. It's like, who are you? And then, yeah, they either would have to fight this person because maybe this would be like a random stranger from somewhere, or maybe they might have been someone that the Blackbeard crew recruited on their crew. I don't know if it would be the main crew or if it would be like one of the allied, crew members or something, kind of like what the Peachbeard pirates are. Yeah, the Peachbeard pirates are basically, like they're their own crew, but they're just allied with Blackbeard because Blackbeard's doing the whole Whitebeard thing, but basically making it into like his own empire. So I'm like, Blackbeard, no. But yeah. But maybe this person probably joined in the main crew probably because Blackbeard probably saw real potential in this, in this particular person, whether it be a man or a woman. But with their powers though, maybe this person got their powers from a really young age. They've been training with this fruit for so long and everything because they're aware of its capabilities of what it could do. And it's like, this person probably really had nothing else to do with their lives and everything. So it's more like Blackbeard just found them and they're like, hey, you want to find something to do? Join us and everything. I'll give you something to do. It's like, okay, sure. It's like, let's go. I've been, kind of bored and everything. I've been, getting into a lot of fights lately and everything, but all these people just don't get it. Like I keep copying their powers and their moves, and they just don't get it. They just don't get it. I keep just knocking out each and every single one, and they're always asking me the same question. How can you beat me? It's like, dude, what did I just do? What did I just do? Like, they're probably so bored of it. They're just like, what did I just do? It's like, I have no idea, dude. It's like, I went and oh my god. I went and copied your freaking moves, dude. Like, you serious? It's like, I'm done with this. I'm bored. It's just like they're done, you know? And yeah, so maybe that's like their whole story is that they've been so bored of just fighting. Like maybe it was fun for them in the beginning where it's like, yeah, they were happy they confused people with their fights, but the more it kept happening over the years, they were probably just like, now this is getting boring. It's like it's not so fun anymore because yeah, it makes it so like it makes it so much of a mystery, but these guys are just like these guys just like don't even know. Like they're just not using their heads. Like what and it just doesn't make it fun anymore and everything. But if they were to go, like, if this person were to go and fight the Straw Hats and everything, it's almost like Luffy would sort of do the same thing. But it's like, after a while, Luffy would actually acknowledge that and be like, ah, I see. So you're copying my moves and everything. You're copying my elephant gun. It's like, this kid is actually acknowledging what I'm doing in our fight. This never happened before. It's like, okay, now I'm actually enjoying this. You're getting it now. It's like, yeah, you know? I don't know. Yeah, it probably might be a stranger, and it probably might be like they've been bored this whole time. Like, the origin story might be the same, but it's like, they've been so bored that Luffy and his crew randomly meet up with this person, and it's like, when Luffy and him fight and everything, for the first time, this person actually would be like, wait, you actually get it. Like, no one's ever done that before. It's like, yeah, who would not get it though? It's like, my question exactly. Like, who are you? It's like, well, I'm Luffy, like the guy who's gonna be king of the pirates someday. It's like, who are you? It's like, like it's just they have no words to say. They would be like, I, I gotta respect this kid. I gotta respect this kid. This kid actually acknowledges, like how I fight. I copy others. It's like this is truly amazing. This is truly fun. It's like I like this. Um, I mean, I know if you're thinking like, would Luffy actually have him join his crew, or would this guy want to join the crew? I don't really know if that's what would happen. Because if that was to actually happen though, that would actually be like, wow. It's like a copy user. Luffy's crew's just gotten stronger. This user can show up anytime though and everything. I'd be like, like of course though, I guess with the opponents they fight though, it will all depend on the people that they fight and stuff because if the same thing happens again though, where it's like, the guy, like this guy or this woman's actually just like, just using their powers whenever, and it's on a bunch of like enemies and stuff, and the people still don't get it. I think their problem is that they feel like they feel so sad that no one gets what their power is, but it's more like Luffy and the crew kind of just look at them like it's okay, we understand your power. It's like I know, but this is so messed up. I'm a copy user. They should understand what I'm doing. It's like, we know. Like, hold on. It's like, we'll actually give them a better example. Like, Luffy would probably be like, hold on. It's like, how about me and you go and, like, just throw down, like, one big punch together? It's like, you think so? It's like, I think they'll just, I think they'll get through their heads of what they're messing with. It's like, yeah, yeah, okay. And they both do an elephant gun together and stuff because, the copy user would copy Luffy's, Gum Fruit and the powers, and they would both do, either like a giant pistol together or like an elephant gun together, and then basically, like, yeah, there you go. And, basically, if people were to start getting it by then, like, whoa, it's almost like that person is like another Straw Hat Luffy. What? It's like, do you get it now? It's like, I am a copy user. It's like, oh. It's like, that makes a lot of sense now. It's like, you kidding me? Like, I think that'd be the joke with this person. Like, no one gets it. But it's like, they feel so sad about it and everything all this time because, like, it's sad and angry. Because of the fact no one gets it all the time and stuff. And, like, Luffy and the crew are, like, the only few people that get it. It's like, this is why I respect the Straw Hats. These guys get it. No one else gets it. Like, this is pathetic. This is rude. But, yeah, I guess I'll go and end out the video. I know I said I would do that earlier and stuff, but again, I just went on that and stuff. But, yeah, just kind of comment down below your thoughts about, what I asked about before. If you think, like, with the Kung Fu, if it gives any, like, if you were able to, like, maybe copy fighting abilities or something like that, like just fighting skills, not really like, devil fruit powers or anything like that. But I guess also comment down below of your thoughts of copy user. Like, what would you think of that and everything? Like, and comment down below of like what limits would they have and what powers and abilities they would have too and everything. Like, I'm curious to know. Um, but yeah, I guess this will be the end of the video right here and everything. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Leave a like on the video, and yeah, just drop your comments down below of the stuff right there and everything, because I'm really curious. But yeah, it's really storming right now and everything. I'm probably gonna get myself ready for work today. But yeah, but I hope all of you have a great day, night, morning. Don't really care for time zones, but I guess I'll see you all in the next video, guys. Bye.